flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ali, do you have roll recorded? 2, Superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. I'd like to, if we could, offer some photographs of the interior of Paxanosa School, because as we start the school year, there's lots of good things happening around the Easton School District, but of course, one of the most exciting things and one of the most targeted missions of our activities has been the completion of the renovation project. So we have some pictures here we'd like to just share with you and give you a glimpse inside the building. We have set October 18th at 6:30 as the date for the rededication of the building. We hope that obviously the board members and the public will take advantage of the opportunity to come and see the inside of the building. October 18th at 6:30. We'll have a few groups of students perform at that time. And I believe part of what we'd like to do is to invite back some of the administrators who have been in charge of that building over the course of its history. It's a landmark in the city, as we all know. It's a landmark in the region. It's a beautiful school, made even more beautiful at this point for young children. So Paxanosa is ready to go. I'd like you to check that library out because it reflects the goodwill and the generosity of our friends at Crayola, who happen to be our community schools partner there. And we were able to reuse the furniture that was donated to us, as well as all the bookshelves, and we're really pleased with that. The classrooms are bright and in most cases spacious enough for our kids to do all of their work in. Could we stop that one right there, Ann? Could we just go back one to show? You will see there, halfway back the hallway to the right, is where there used to be banks of lockers, and we removed those lockers. There wasn't much you could do with that space other than adding more space to the hallway, but what we tried to do is carpet that area and add some unusual furniture there that kids might be motivated to sit and read and have small instruction there in the hallway. And so far, from what I've been told by Principal Elise Jones, that the kids that have gone through have really congregated around those strange-looking pieces of furniture that we have there. When I say strange-looking, they look like padded steps, but kids like that, and I sat on one. I was a little afraid to sit fully on there comfortably because I didn't want to strain the upholstery and the springs, but it's very nice. Our theater, the auditorium, which we thought would be the last thing finished and weren't sure that it would be finished by the opening, is finished and stands there in what I think is the original beauty of the place as it was designed when the high school opened up. They replaced the fancy molding, and it's very, very nice. We reutilized the seats in the auditorium, and at that time, I was one of the individuals who said, there's no reason why we can't reuse those seats. And I didn't think that we should pay for new ones. And now that we have new carpeting and new paint and the curtains have been cleaned, I'm not so sure. The seats are just a slight bit disappointing in there. Hopefully they'll shine up with some. We have to look for some kind
Where's Tim at? He'll get them.
Wax. Well, yes. But all the reactions have been very positive and very uplifting, and I know the kids will be very excited. Our staff, we must say and acknowledge our staff members who have contributed a great deal of time over the past weeks to prepare Paxanosa for school. But if we think about it, we have to spread that thanks over the last couple of years, because last summer we had people moving, and we have people moving from Tracy to the middle school, from the middle school out. Next February or so, we're going to have Forks moving and Tracy moving back. So it applies to lots of people, not just the Paxinosa staff, but everyone has kicked in to do a tremendously positive job of preparing our schools for opening this year. And we can't thank them enough. And I want to acknowledge both the gentleman seated in the back row there. We have two guys who have been around this place, and Tim and Dale, and I would like you to just stand up for a second so we can thank you.
Dale and I were talking this morning, and
Yes.
we took an inventory, and we figured out we have 4 more hats and only 3 rabbits left. Hopefully we'll get all the other projects done.
You know, I'm a little disappointed we don't have a picture of the carts they built.
Yes,
I
right.
mean, that's really...
But it truly was a team effort.
Wow. And it has been, because a month ago, I had my doubts about the timing of the reopening of this building. I was confident we could get Tracy kids moved in, and we were moving very well in that respect. A little bit worried about this, but as you can see by those pictures, the floors are shiny, and the classrooms are orderly and ready to go, and both of you gentlemen we owe you a tremendous amount of thanks for your leadership in coordinating all of these moves and making sure all this happens for us. So thank you very, very much. Josh, as an engineer, I'm going to give a shout out to the Dewey Engineering. Josh has really led us up to this point. This is a tremendously positive time when you think of the significance of finishing this project on time. Because if this project didn't end on time, imagine what the Easton School District would be doing, and imagine where you'd find the superintendent. Nowhere to be found, quite frankly. I mean, this was very important that we had this project on time. And thanks to Josh and his team and everybody that worked on the project, it was brought in right where we wanted it. So, again, thank you, Josh, for all of your help and guidance. That's all I have. Thank you.
Before we go any further, agenda number 11, letter B, will be removed from tonight's agenda. Moving along to reports, Eastern Area Public Library.
Good evening, Board. I have 3 really wonderful things to share with you from the public library. The library staffed 2 employees to work at the high school during the student iPad registration for 5 days, so that's 5 students. That's quite an effort. Over the course of the 5 days, 775 library cards were registered to students, which is a really wonderful number. This was a great opportunity to partner with the high school and have the students take advantage of the free access and resources that they have at the public library. The summer reading program has come to an end. We had over 1,800 school-age children participate in the summer program entitled Build a Better World, and that was between the main library and the Palmer Bridge. And then finally, our monthly gardening series continues on September 21st with the topic Fall Cleanup at 6:30 p.m., and that's open to everyone, obviously, at the main library. And the program is...
Thank you. CIT, Ms. Hess, Mr. Vandenberg, or Ms. Weiss?
I'll do it. Just something small. CIT just, goes on, and they're going to be kicking off their school year as well. But one of the things they're going to focus on this year is more of marketing to non-traditional students. So they did reach out and trying to attend more things like car shows, or trying to get, for example, women in automotive, things like that for non-traditional students. So we'll put a focus on that this year.
Thank you. Community College, Mr. Payne.
We had a very short meeting this month because it is just the beginning of school. Students came back today. We had an athletic update on how all the teams, the local teams do, which actually is made up of a lot of our local students and everything that go there, and from the county, and they've been performing real well. When you talk about girls volleyball, you talk about the baseball team, softball, they've all been doing well, and the collaboration of all the students from within the county. Two other things that were mentioned: there was a summer theater program, and then there was also a summer youth program. Both those are standalones. It's not that dollars per se from the district help fund them or anything. Particularly the youth program, it's meant for smaller children and everything, that they have outlets and they learn different activities and things like that, and that they go there for over the summer months. And it's broken down into different types of programs, but it was about how many students were involved and how many participated. Other than that, there wasn't a lot. We talked a little bit about our South Side campus, where we're working on the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and how that will be changing things of helping to work within the community. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Charles Schrin, Science and Technology. Ms. Hess?
Nothing
No?
right now.
I'm sorry, I was skipping one, but go ahead. Go.
That's all right. Nothing.
Nothing. When's your next meeting, Ms. Hess?
We're not sure yet.
You guys don't skip me.
We only do about 2 a year.
Yeah. The Foundation for Eastern School. Sorry, Mr. Buscemi.
That's okay. Foundation didn't meet last month. We're meeting tomorrow night, so there's nothing to report this week.
Thank you. Legislative, Mr. Fainall.
Not much to report, except as you know, we have a budget for expenditure, but no income. So without that, you can't spend a whole lot.
Letter H, EASD Diversity Alliance. Mr. Reinhardt.
Our next meeting will be held on September 6th. The subcommittees have been meeting during the summer, and we continue to address a lot of the activities that are outlined in the diversity plan. We look forward to seeing everyone on the 6th.
Thank you. Is there any public who would like to be heard on agenda items only? Agenda items only at this time from the public? Seeing none.
Agenda is what you already talked about, is that correct?
Anything that's on this agenda that's up there,
If it's not on this paper?
then you'll have a chance to speak a little bit later.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Can I have a motion to accept the executive session report as listed?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Number 6, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as listed?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Can I have a motion to accept number 7, personnel, A through Q? Have a second with regrets?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? 8, academics. Can I have a motion to accept A through G?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed?
No to Sandy.
Number 9, buildings and grounds. Can I have a motion to accept letters A and B?
Second.
Discussion.
Any comments and details on B? They had the sheets attached inside, but really explaining
Okay.
plain English.
That's all for you too, but just for the, Josh, you want to do change orders real quick?
Thanks. Okay, so for Paxinosa, the 2 change orders on the agenda tonight. One is for the GC, which is CMG of Easton. That was the GC 13 in the amount of $22,711. That was to reconstruct a portion of the exit and entrance driveways for the parking lot. The reason for that is in the city of Easton, there's a standard detail that they're incorporating for a concrete surface, which is meant to provide a visual cue to drivers that it's the continuation of the sidewalk. It's a safety factor. meant to aid drivers in yielding to pedestrians. That particular detail is not incorporated or picked up on the drawings or as part of the plan review and approval by the city. From what I understand, it's a newer detail that's being incorporated throughout the city. So in order to accommodate those changes, there were some revisions to the grading, to the handicap ramps that were needed, and to the curbing that was being placed at the time. So luckily we were able to kind of make changes on the fly, so to speak, and unfortunately there was cost associated with that, but it is meant to fulfill the requirements of the city.
Josh, if I can ask you, so we did our drawings, we did all our meetings, all our hearings. The city wasn't aware of it because it's new, so they just realized it. So we have to redo because they didn't know, and we had to pay for it.
A portion of it was redone, unfortunately, but most of the costs were for the materials, the concrete, the handicap ramp itself. So, yes.
You're right, you're right.
But the error, what I'm trying to get at is the error wasn't on the district; it was more on the city. But we have to foot the bill.
Correct. If it had been incorporated up front, there still would have been some additional costs. Unfortunately, not, as much as the change orders for. But yes, it was part of the approved plan set that went through the city.
So now we could just send the city a bill.
Remember, Frank, we have to kind of play nice for Cheston as well, so maybe that's not the best idea. The second item was change order EC5 for the electrician, which is Farfield. That amount was $39,770. That is to replace some existing components of the original switchgear. Those components were found to be inoperable when the newer component section was added to the switchgear. It's called a high pressure switch. It's sort of a ground fault interruptible switch which protects that particular piece of equipment and also the circuits that are further downstream. Most of that cost is for the part itself. It was about a $30,000 part in total between that piece and the components associated with it. We're talking about a very large cabinet here with several $1,000s also for the installation of the components. Okay, so that's basically to replace failed componentry in the existing equipment.
Thank you, Josh. Any other discussion? I have a motion and a second to approve number 9, A and B. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I have a motion to accept number 10, finance, letter A, and 11, other business, letter A. Discussion?
Yeah, if I could just get some clarification, because it's the first time I went through the bill list. On the Paxinosa furniture, I guess there were two bills, one for $548,000, and another one for $46,000. Did these items go out to bid?
It was all under state contract purchasing.
State contract?
Pepper.
Can you bid them or should state contract?
Right. Would it be in the district's best interest to bid to see if the price would be better?
We're looking at that for the next two schools, for Cheston and Palmer, but under the timeline here, the bidding and getting it, furniture and the decisions of what we were ordering, kind of was a hindrance for the bidding.
You're saying the timeline.
But don't forget now, it's like state contract, the prices they're already bid prices.
Right.
So, under the timeline we did the PAX, this was the way that we had to go for the purchase.
So did you build in your construction schedule a timeline of when you would consider furniture?
Kind of, in the construction timeline, the furniture was, I don't want to say an afterthought, that's not proper.
Okay.
But it wasn't, it will be in the other one, built in a timeline in the next two schools. But in this case, it was an afterthought, or after the bidding went out for the schools.
Okay. And the other one with the security for the window film. I know when I sat in on the Paxinosa project meeting, they had talked about that. And I'm assuming you did that for all your schools, right?
We had to wait for Paxos has begun, and all that. But that was also an approved project. He did the total approval over a year ago for all the schools.
All the schools, it was one project?
Yes.
Okay, and was that under state contract?
Again, that was state contract, yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering if we could look at those things in the future, and if the bid process, at least go through it to see if there could be some, beneficial savings.
If we look at that, I mean, and I agree with you, sometimes the cost associated with the bidding, you gotta weigh that out.
Well, and am I right in saying, and I try to recall that our conversation was one of a bit of confidentiality about the installation because it was related to our safe schools and our security. So I think what we tried to do, if I recall that conversation, was to move forward with something that would help, we thought would help make our schools all more secure without announcing and the publicity through bids and advertising. So I think that was a bit of a factor in this one too, George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you bring that up, it would be interesting to know, how did you come up with, or how many different vendors did you have then to do that application?
There again, I'm saying to you that it was through John Romali, and the conversation occurred as I was reminded when we had an executive session at the at the middle school behind the stage before we had a public meeting on stage. What was the public meeting about? It was a regular board meeting, but we anticipated a number of people coming, so we held it at the theater there on the middle school campus. And it was, we were in the back, we talked privately with John, our safe school supervisor, who was urging the district to consider this, and I do believe that one of the things that we thought we could do to avoid the publicity that would go out about installation was to go off the state bid, and then but that precluded us from seeking other people to give input. The state bid is what we use.
You can use state bid, but there's probably 4, 5, 6 other vendors you can look at.
We looked at 3 vendors in order to make that.
Because they had a merit.
We did look at other vendors, and each one had a little different
Yeah.
Well, the price would be the
component of
same.
the product.
But I think John. All right.
And on the cameras, so now we are bidding the cameras though for Tracy's school, right?
Yes, we are.
Any other discussion? I have a motion and a second for 10A, 11A. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 12, is there anyone from the public who would like to be heard on non-agenda items only? Please sign in and state your name.
My name is Ellen Keith. I'm a member of the library board. I live on Taylor Avenue. I'm going to read my statement. I apologize for that, but I want to be really sure that I use the words that I mean. We at the library have growing concern that the Board of Education is not passing the resolution separating the Easton Area Public Library operations from those of the Easton Area School District. The school district has made several changes that are dependent on the passage of this resolution effective July 1st, 2017. First, the current tax bill shows that the school district has removed the library tax from the homestead rebate requirement. This is based on the separation called for in the resolution. In addition, the school district has directed the library to go ahead and hire our own payroll company, remove our employees from the school district's health plan, and not add employees hired after July 1st, 2017 to the PSERS pension system. The basic points in this resolution were determined at a meeting between representatives of the library, Mr. Simonetta and Mr. Freund. and it's designed to meet the needs and expectations of both parties. If there are any questions that still need to be answered, or facts that still need to be clarified, we are willing to meet with you so that this matter can be expedited.
Thank you very much. If you could stay there for a second, and I thank you for coming up and speaking, because I can tell you, myself and Mr. Fano have been talking about it. We desperately want to get this put to rest as well. Can Mr. Freund or Mike, tell us what the holdup is and why this isn't
There
done yet?
there was some additional review that the board wants to do. I'm sure that we'll be able to address that next meeting.
And may I ask a question? Will the resolution then be effective beginning July 1st? Because we've made changes that are...
Yeah, I mean, it's already, everything in the resolution's already being done, with or without the resolution, so, yes.
Yes.
But the July 1, 2017 date will be recommended to the board.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
so, what you said about the next meeting, when is the next meeting for us that don't know?
Next board, next action.
Oh, the next board, okay, that meeting, okay. So next month, so by next month, this will all be done, and we can finally move on from it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sir, would you like to make a comment, sir? This is the time.
Am I the only one? I need some advice, that's why I came here.
We talked to our solicitor, but he doesn't give us good advice.
I can see that, they were 9 minutes late to the meeting.
You love to be here, like, don't you have to come out here and say...
Gotta be out here on time. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
I need advice because I go to Peterborough, a little nervous, talking to everybody here. They tell me that you should picture everybody sitting on the toilet in their underwear, but I don't know if I want to see that, so I'll just look at you the way they are. When I go to
I'm
Peterborough,
sorry, if you could just state your name and where you're from?
Richard Clark, Palmer, PA.
Sir?
I wrote it down in this paper, I guess I'm supposed to do.
Thank you.
When I go to Peterborough, I come across the freeways to save the dollar toll. We started to buy more store brands to save money at the store. We turn our thermostat up in the heat of the summertime to save money there. I buy some medication, I'm on a fixed income. Lo and behold, the school board zaps me with a $120 tax increase. So I need some advice. My medication, I'm fortunate enough to get it, $27 for a 3-month supply through the VA, $10 more per month for my taxes. Do I pay my taxes, or do I get my medication? Can we have a vote on that, what I should do? Because I'm strapped. Has anybody in here written to the Social Security Board stating that we need help in our area for senior citizens to give them an increase? We have not had an increase in 2 years. An organization, any schlub organization, forgive me for using the word, can raise taxes. A good organization would find a way to eliminate costs to keep taxes where they were. But you all, and I understand this is the first of 4 hefty taxes. Not sure, I'm not on the inside here, but that's what I understand. Suggestions from anybody?
I have one. You can do what we've been doing, reaching out to our state representatives, state senators. Our funding is getting cut. They're not doing what we're supposed to do. They make us put it on the taxpayer. Now,
Already
we're
called
for...
Toomey, I talked to in Boscola, there's nothing.
Toomey has nothing to do with this.
Well, Boscola,
Representative Freeman, we speak to them. They're cutting our funding, as you heard from Mr. Fanel. They still haven't passed an expenditure part of the budget yet. We don't know what we're getting. We don't know anything. So they're tying our hands, making us tax the taxpayer, and then we're the bad guys. They're cutting our funding.
in our eyes, yes, you are the bad guy.
I understand. I think in 2011 they cut the amount of money for public education was like $900 million they cut from us, and they go to the taxpayer for
In
it.
some communities, veterans are eliminated from property tax. That's not the case here, though.
But again, that's a state. You'd have to go to the state, not the school.
They've been talking about eliminating the property tax for
7, 8 years.
since I had,
Right.
around here.
Unfortunately, I can tell you, sir, that we do the best we can, our administrators, with cutting wasteful spending. We're in the business of educating kids, and
I
You know,
understand that.
fortunately or unfortunately, however you look at it, it does cost money.
Unfortunately, today's paper, your number came out at 206. That wasn't very high. It was not even the top half. It was the lower half. So something's not working right within your program here.
Well, that's your opinion. I understand, but I think your fight would be better taken with the state than with us. That's the advice I can give you, since that's what you're looking for.
So there's no way for you to cut programs so you don't have to raise taxes.
What program would you have?
I don't know. I don't know what all your programs are.
I mean,
When I
would
look
you
at
cut-
number 206, I think there's probably some programs that can be cut.
Well, we probably cut math, science.
Well,
I mean, did
I
you
saw
look
in a paper
at
not too long ago where some teachers wanted to leave because they didn't like the type of students that were coming in to be taught. That was in the express time. 14 or 16 teachers wanted to be transferred to another school because of the student caliber that was coming in.
So, what would your recommendation
I
be
don't
for
know.
that?
I'm just.
I don't understand what the type of kid that we service as a public school has to do with it.
Well, maybe some of the programs that you're teaching them or trying to teach them are not working, and maybe you need different programs.
A different angle, Mike. There are certain things that they can apply for, right? Depending on financial situations and everything. There's rebate programs or whatever through the state.
But would the homeowners can apply for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
And these are as well.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware of that, but you've taken a dent out of it, my increase, so my time is up, I guess that's what that means.
Well, you have 26 seconds.
So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else from the public would like to be heard on non-agenda items? Mr. Snyder, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, I'm all right.
Good.
All right, any other business from board members? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All those in favor?